Hello everyone, Jamie version 1 here with another episode of Vampyr. In the last episode we found out that I'm a complete idiot. I do apologise that I spent the last 5 minutes trying to figure out how to cure everyone, and I figured it out rather easily in the end. Turns out I was just pressing the wrong button the whole time because I am that dumb. But as you can see, I've cured most of the people here, except from one guy, Oswald Thatcher, which in all fairness I don't know where he is on the map, but the rest all cured. Says like they're in the middle of healing, so when I next rest they should all be sorted. I decided not to record it because I just thought it'd be such a waste of time for you guys to watch me walk around after learning the button and just saying you need to take your medicine, because that's literally all he does. You just say, is anything wrong with you? They say yes, and then he just goes, take this, and they go, oh, I don't know, doctor, and he just uses his hypnotist powers to say, no, seriously, take this, don't be a bitch, you know. But anyways, we are going to track down and head off to Whitechapel, I think the place was called, and we're going to head off there, see what's going on there. This is another curfew, official health warning. Okay. Okay, someone's not happy here. Cheer up, mate. Could be worse. Why is he proving to be so hard? No. Concerning the recruitment of new boys in Whitechapel, I think I found one. Okay. Albert Palmer got a new thing on you. Interesting. That guy seemed really hard. Because they're all higher level than me. That's what it appears to be anyways. I feel like I should be maybe avoiding a lot of these guys. I'm thinking if we drop down here, go on the main streets maybe? Generally everywhere. Fine, we get a jump.
Its head!
Okay.
You'll pay for that!
Really see what I can do because I'm not in the best position right now. Should have bought some revolver parts from matey if he would have done me a favour. Oh, we should recross something like that. It'd probably come in handy, wouldn't it? Shit, that was the right menu, wasn't it? Oh, okay, so they've already been added.
I have this thirst for blood.
Where's the other bloody mouse? I'm sure there's another one.
This is despicable.
Yes. What will London think when they find out I've been eating all their rats? Probably thank me. Best pest control around, man. Trying to avoid fights because I feel like I'm struggling, and I think it's probably because I'm not really doing what the game wants me to do. Because what the game wants me to do is kind of.
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye.
Yep.
The guard recruit more and more every year. I'd step back, sir. It's elite! Kill it!
Take care of you first, just try and get one down. Alright, I want to keep my distance from this guy because he seems like trouble. How do you change guns again? I've kind of forgotten. You can't, can you? Oh dear. I don't want to use the blood serum too early. I'm now being a bit of a prick because now I'm just trying to find out what the button is for changing your stuff. How do I change to a 2? Have I actually got any ammo for that? Or is that going to be a complete waste of my time having a solar shotgun? Although in all fairness, that's just doing like... Alright. Well, I've learned something, which is that shit. I thought it did also... Okay, so it doesn't do anything to the actual thing. So maybe stick to stay keeps... But then that gives me blood. But yeah, the whole biting thing benefits me so much more. Gotta be careful though.
Put an end to you!
Just trying to see how long it takes them. There we go. The bite just does so much absorption. I should be able to take care of this guy. Just gotta be careful now because I'm a bit low on health myself. How are you not down yet? Keep my distance. There we go, quickly, bite him. Man, that was pretty bad of me. I need to recheck like how I'm doing this, because that was a very shit go. Great, and the locked door. I can't open this. It appears locked.
It's locked, all right.
Yeah. Even though I knew he was going to say that, I had to hear him say it. It's just brilliant. Where am I supposed to go then? Oh, I can go through here.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it! Streets, not me.
Talk to this fellow.
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Wow, this guy's a bit of a penis.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
You're being manipulated by these criminals. What's worse is that you're clever enough to know better.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Idiot.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley drinking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Try and talk to the drunk.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Fierce, what have you got there going, Benjamin?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
The word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Interesting.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Trap.
It's sad.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just faked me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
That is pretty barbaric, actually, thinking about that. The fact that the doctors didn't believe him, so they claimed he was insane and still sent him back to the front lines and just gave him probably like a couple of like anti-depressing pills. Those are barbaric
It's a
methods.
pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Interesting.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
That unlock any hints for
How
him
are you,
quickly?
boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Damn, you're a moody little shit.
Goodbye, young man.
Yeah, goodbye, young man. I'm gonna go see if your dad still has that gun.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
It's a bit worrying. She don't look like one.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
She actually got anything decent? I better number a lot of these because they could come handy for creating future medicine. I did not mean to end the
Good
conversation.
evening, my dear colleague.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Wow.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
She's a bit of a closed book. Wondering if her boat would be here, but it's not. Ravaging through trash cans like a professional would do. Interesting.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. There's nobody here.
So, what does the game want me to do? Maybe it's a place I can jump to up top and I'm just not seeing it. It's locked, alright. I'm not gonna refuse a trash can. Generally, that's shit all. So my only option is going to be to go and just, I guess, keep staring at him until I see something. Oh. God, I'm a pleb.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Alright.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
As much as I would love to just talk to every silly little bugger I walk into, I need to keep... Although that is the church.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson's son, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Alright.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Good for you. I don't really need to ask about her, do I? If I say that, I
Have
wonder
you
what
heard
to
of a
say.
nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane. Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye,
Okay.
Mr. Peterson.
I won't waste any more time.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yeah, because from what I can gather, she is just trying to help. It looks like she's just doing it in a very shady way.
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Interesting.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean, besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Damn.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever. Madness. Something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Damn.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Okay.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Nice selection of stuff again. I think I need that to upgrade the gun. See who this guy is.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Yeah, it's confidential.
It's confidential. Speaking as a doctor, I'm sure you understand.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Interesting.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Okay.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's criminal though, because. But at the same time, I get the logic of it. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I flick on the news and you just hear like depressing stuff all the time, it does kind of make you feel down. So I understand what they're trying to do if there is a war going on, but at the same time, the people have a right to know.
If no one stops it, this epidemic could turn into a scourge. It may kill more people than the war itself.
Yeah.
Yes, this is another kind of war, but just as deadly. History will judge us all for what we did and what we did not.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Yeah.
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
So I said I unlocked a hint. Oh,
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Don't want to waste more time talking to the priest. He said he ripped it up and threw it in the bin. That's why I'm a bit curious about it. There's the mailbox. I would love to read all that, but it's far too late in the day for me to be trying to focus on writing that small.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Okay. You can't enter there.
It's locked, all right.
He finally said my favourite one. It's locked, alright. Stop trying. Alright, so he said you can find him nowhere around the back of the church, but getting around to the back of the church is the real question. Okay, that's a dead end. There's a ledge up there that we can jump. There's a lot of people you can talk to in this game.
By your daily routine, unable to see the true horror around you.
Okay. So he's going to be somewhere down here then. Oh shit. Oh, what? Nice. I think we did that much better than the last fight. Just gotta find this weird man. It's gotta be him. He looks weird enough first. Yeah, definitely him.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really?
No,
Are
what's
you
a
an
load of
artist
bollocks?
some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Damn.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
I did all that explanation, like, ah, yes, the crane of Whitechapel. No, I've never heard of her.
Can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Damn, you got it in for him.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
My mother loved poetry. Perhaps your words would have touched her sensitive nature. I only see a dreadful disease.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you, for a start, my dear doctor.
That was a fucking good answer, actually.
I
Fair play.
understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
Then, all fairness, he needs treatment for the cold. Otherwise, I'd be very tempted because the guy's a bit of an arse.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What,
but are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
We've answered all these questions, haven't we? And there's nothing here. Ooh! Florist is part of a plot.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Okay, you've officially just bored the shit out of me.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
In Whitechapel.
Oh,
the
my
place is
finger
not beautiful
slipped.
per se, but how to explain it? Stirring.
Thank you. Hint required. No. No.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
I wonder what happens if we actually go up to that florist girl then, because if she is a mute. But then it said I did get hints for her, so is there any... I think we'll give it a go, because I feel like if we go all the way back to Darius and try and talk to him, we won't actually get far enough for it to feel satisfying for this episode, because I like to always keep it an hour. So let's kind of see what we can figure out about this lady. But I'll find her first. Can't even find her. There she is.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Tell me about Richard Norcott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well. Goodbye then.
We didn't really get far with that, did we? Interesting though. When they said she was a mute, I thought maybe we'd like get her to talk if we like used our persuasive ways. Maybe we can go back to Darius. We have got time.
Cheap price, good quality.
Should rest in the bed as well. Screw it. Give it a go.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Well, that worked out way easier than I thought it would. First I'm gonna just rob you of fucking everything. And then I'll go see your nurse.
It's locked.
It's locked, alright. Why do you keep trying? Let's have a little word with the lady. She's upstairs. What's up with that noise? something there. Sure, we get everything.
I need help!
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
So it's
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
What would you suggest? Don't question me! No, fuck it.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
Let me finish alone. Might as well get some blood out of it.
Yes. Yes. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Man, I was thinking if I drink his blood, it might do me a massive favour.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
That was really annoying. I want to tweet him.
Bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Oh, it's so tempting. Because there's one thing I've learned is that I'm struggling. But I guess it's good that she still helps people because it'll keep the disease down.
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Alright guys, well it's about to come up to a minute, so I'm going to leave it here. Interesting. Anyways, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to give the video a like, and also feel free to share it around on that. I'd much appreciate it if you could. Don't forget to also give possibly a subscribe if you're a new person to the channel, and describe what you thought of the video, and that would be much appreciated as well. All in all, have a good day guys. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, I can't help you.